Well, let's now catch up with Liberal MP Andrew Wallace. Andrew, good to see you. I know that you're going to be pleased that the social media ban for under 16s has passed the Parliament, but one issue, neither the Coalition nor Labor have any idea how this is going to work. Why was it rushed through so quickly?
Well, g'day, Danica. It's great to join you from the Caloundra Christmas Street Party on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. There's a couple of things I wanted to pick you up on in your last segment when you were concerned about, and I know that there's some concerns from people about having to cough up a digital ID or driver's licence. That is expressly prohibited under this bill. In fact, social media platforms who ask for digital ID or a government form of ID can be fined up to $9.3 million. So that's not going to happen. The Coalition, David Coleman, fought very, very hard to ensure that Australians' privacy was protected. So I want to knock that on the head straight away. You can feel relaxed that that is not going to happen.
Right, but why isn't it being left up to parents to make this decision? I mean, this is the fundamental question. Why should a government bureaucrat be in charge of what people should do in their own homes?
Well, ultimately, that sort of argument would say, if we're going to run that sort of an argument, it'd be like saying, well, people should have the right to decide whether they want to wear a seatbelt. People should have a right to decide whether they want to wear a motorbike helmet. A civilised society decides at some stage that laws are appropriate, and bearing in mind that social media companies have been let to run riot for nearly 20 years. Over the last 10 years, we have seen a 300% increase in children approaching hospitals for self-harm. We've seen multiple, and we've talked about this before, Danica, many instances of children taking their own lives. Young boys in particular in relation to sextortion cases, and young girls in relation to eating disorders, body image, cyberbullying. The social media platforms have let Australians down, and look, we led the charge on this for over 12 months from the Coalition. The Prime Minister has finally come on board. I don't accept your position that this has all been rushed. Why do I say that? Because we've been talking about this for more than 12 months. I've been on a committee which has been examining this issue for most of this year. We've received over 200 witnesses, days and days of evidence. So this is not something that has been rushed. That's what the social media platforms want Australians to believe, that this is all too hard. It's not, and we'll make it happen.
All right. Well, I mean, look, I still maintain that there are very big concerns out there. So let's wait and see how this all transpires and how it actually is put to use. Now, before we let you go, I want to ask you about the Prime Minister's new slogan, "We've got your back." That seems to be what he's taking to the election. What's your response to that?
Well, Danica, I've got a really, really simple response to that, and that is this. People of Australia, do you feel better off today than you did in May of 2022? Because everybody I speak to, whether it's mum and dad on Bullcock Street in Caloundra or the small businesses across the country, they all say that they feel poorer. And the reason why they feel poorer is because this government has let inflation get away from them. They've been too busy concentrating on things like The Voice for the first 18 months of this parliamentary term. And once that failed, once the Prime Minister's voice failed, they had nowhere to go. This is a government that has been lost at sea for this term, and now they are scrambling. They are indeed pushing a lot of legislation through, and did push a lot of legislation through last night and again this morning. This is a government that said that they would and criticised us for guillotining certain legislation. It's exactly what they're doing now. But my question to Australians is very, very simple. Do you feel better off today than you did 2.5 years ago? If not, then at the ballot box, whenever that next election is, you've got an opportunity to get rid of Labor and put in Peter Dutton as our next Prime Minister.
Spot on, absolutely. Are you, Andrew, going to hop on the teacup and saucer right behind you there at the show? It's going. It just started in the last minute. Are you going to hop on?
I think I'd probably break it, Danica, but no, I think I'll give that a miss.
Oh, look, fair enough. It looks like it's a really great night out there at the show. Andrew Wallace, thanks for taking time out to speak to us.